Hey y'all, it's Adam from BattleAxe, and today we're looking at the new Overlord connection. Inside of Illustrator, we have a few wireframes and a few illustrations from Reese Parker. So what we'll do is select our first artboard and select our art and push. And since there's no frames inside of Figma, we'll create a new artboard or a new frame with the art inside of it. Just zoom in a little bit, we'll take a look. Click into one of these, and you'll notice that this is a ellipse. This is a rounded rectangle, ready to work with just the way you would inside of Figma. So we'll go to the second one, select our artboard, select our art, create a new frame, and push to it. Before we do our third one, I want to point out a weird little thing that can trip people up inside of Illustrator. If your second artboard, this one right here, is selected and you select art that's on a different artboard, and then you push, inside of Figma, it'll create the art off the side of the artboard. That's because Illustrator needs to know which artboard you have selected. So you would want to select the artboard that you have. And now if you push or pull, it creates that on the active artboard. That might not be what we want. So what we will do, create a new artboard and then pull to it. Now we have our wireframes. So let's repeat the same process for the illustrations. Select the artboard, select the art, new frame, push to it. Select artboard, select the art, new frame, push. Select the artboard, select the art, new frame, and push. Now we've got all of our assets ready to work inside of Figma. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to right click this avatar and we're going to create a component. We'll jump inside of this horizontal scroll. What we can do is Shift A, and that'll turn it into an auto layout, meaning that we can select any of these inside here, right, left, and rearrange them. This avatar, we're going to option drag it right into here, and we can move that around as need be. So we'll set that as our primary, and we'll hide that one. That's ready to go. This square arm we're going to add to this, we'll right click, create component, option drag to add it to the frame. And in here, we can go back to our main component. Just the corner radius and the instance will update. Same thing with this one. We will right click, create component, option drag it into the wireframe. And first thing I'm seeing is that this art is a little taller than the space that we're going to put it in. So we could resize it, but that doesn't do kind of the responsive behavior we want. So what we'll do is we'll right click the art layer, the instance, and we will frame selection. That creates a frame around it. And we'll turn on clip component. And we can even raise the corner radius. So now if we trim that, well, we're sort of back to where we were before. We want it to adjust from the center. So if we select the art again and go to these constraints, instead of top, we're going to set it to center. And now when we trim that down, we have it responsive the way it would work. And real quick, we have our art set up inside of Figma straight from Illustrator. I know what you're thinking. Why wouldn't you just copy and paste from Illustrator? Yeah, that's totally possible to paste art into Figma, but there are a number of pitfalls to be aware of. What we'll do is we'll copy this artboard and we'll jump into Figma and paste. And there we go. I mean, it kind of looks like everything is working the way it should. But I want to point out a couple things that make this a little bit challenging sometimes. So this artboard that's created extends all the way out because of the art that's off the page. So if we shrink that down, well, it actually scales everything. So we would have to go into here and adjust the constraints just the way it was before and set it to left. And then now we can go back and we can trim that down, and that's okay, that's doable. Let's take a look at some of these things. So we noticed before that we got rounded rectangles. If you paste, you lose all of the parametric shapes. So this is actually just a path. There's nothing you can do about that. That's just part of the pasting process. This works pretty okay for a full design like this, but let's say you needed to add a small thing that's inside of a layout. Well, if you selected something like this, a group, and you were to paste it, it's going to paste it dead center of wherever you are. That's because it doesn't keep track of alignment. There's no alignment to keep track of. Versus if we were to Overlord, well, we get exactly what we need right there in alignment with it. A lot of your designs will probably have text in it because text is a big part of UI. So if we select something with text sitting loose on the frame and we were to copy that, well, you get to notice a weird thing. We get this really large layer, and if you look close, it's actually an image. So I guess we'll scale it down and we'll zoom in, and we're getting this really pixelated text thing, and that's just a thing that happens if you paste text from Illustrator. Versus if you were to Overlord it, well, you get exactly what you need right there. Delete this, and this text layer is actually a text box. All the properties set where they need to be and ready to edit inside of Figma the way you want to. Another thing to know is about images. If you were to create a new frame, if you select some images, sometimes they work okay. Paste it. Right off the bat, we're noticing that, yes, this clipping mask does work, but we're missing this second image. That is because inside of Illustrator, you can have linked and unlinked images. You see the unlinked icon right there, the red icon. Well, you just can't paste unlinked images, but this one's okay. So we got a clipping mask, and it is creating this group and group, and this is a vector path. It's not a rounded rectangle, so if you needed to edit it, you'd have to, well, it's kind of hard to select. But let's say you Overlord. We get alignment, we get both images. Scoot that out of the way. The stack for the masking is a lot simpler, and we actually get the rounded rectangle that is editable inside of there. Okay, but what about these spot illustrations? Maybe those are better, a little bit easier on the pasting. Select. Copy. And there we go. That's actually not a bad candidate for copy and pasting. One thing I want to point out, though, is that these shapes, these compound shapes, are flattened down to a single element inside of Figma. And it creates these multiple path things, so you'd have to edit those manually inside of there. And then, what about if you were to, what if you needed to adjust a color or something? I don't know. Maybe your illustration changes and we're gonna change the color to like a green. Well, if you copy that, paste, well, we lose our alignment. So we could manually move it where it needs to be. Or what we could do is just Overlord it and we get our alignment exactly where it needs to be. And that compound path is created as an exclude group where each of these shapes inside of here are still live. So we could take and select those, we could hide them. And it gives us a little bit extra sense of flexibility if we need to change something inside of our art. Pasting layers between apps is obviously simpler because you don't need extra tools and you probably have a muscle memory for it. But when pasting fails, Overlord is there for you. This is the first connection unrelated to motion, and there are more coming soon. We can't wait to share them with you. See you next time.